Good evening and welcome to InterFace Gambia. We broadcast our programs on MAMOS television online, which is broadcast and watched all over the world and Scandinavia in particular, as well as on Ben television in the United Kingdom and on GRTS in the Gambia. My name is Lamin Jaiteh. Welcome to InterFace Gambia TV show. Tonight we have a Gambian human rights lawyer, a politician who is also the leader of the United Democratic Party and serves as a foreign minister under the new regime under Ahmad Barrow in the Gambia, who is no other than Mr. Ousainou Darboe. Welcome to InterFace Gambia TV show.
Thank you very much.
Right, Mr. Darboe, since your swearing-in ceremony on the 1st of February, you've been busy selling the Gambia and also restoring Gambia's relations with the international community. And recently, you've been to France with several other dignitaries, including the Minister for the Interior and Justice. You met President Hollande and other ministers in France. What has been the focus of your visit to France?
Well, thank you, Mr. Jaiteh, for this opportunity. Of course, my role as Minister for Foreign Affairs is to reshape, polish, and repair the battered and tarnished image of the Gambia. I am virtually the Gambia's mirror, and Gambia is reflected. I reflect what Gambia is. And we have been in isolation, and it is self-imposed isolation, and isolation brought about by the past regimes' ill-considered decisions, foreign policy decisions, and it virtually made us a pariah state. And the respectable nations of the world have always kept us at arm's length. And with the Adam Barrow administration coming into being, it is felt that we need to get back into the fold of respected members of the international community and do business with them as usual. Our visit to France was informed by the decision of the President of France to invite Mr. Barrow, President Barrow, when he met him in Mali, Bamako, as he was then President-elect. And of course, for us, the invitation signified a lot. It just shows that the whole world has goodwill for the Gambia, and we had to come out to repair our broken fences with France. As you know, we downgraded the embassy of France to a status of a chargé d'affaires, and that was absolutely unnecessary. Had discussions with the French government on political issues, but more particularly on economic issues. Gambia's economy is down the gutters, and we want to make sure that we get this country up and running. And we can only do so with an invigorated economy, an economy that is resilient. That is why President Ahmad Barrow, accompanied by his Minister of Finance and my humble self and other ministers, visited France, and we had fruitful discussions with all those authorities that can be of relevance to making the Gambia's economy work and start working.
Okay. Now, when you were inaugurated or sworn in on the 1st of February, barely 2 days after that, you had a meeting with the diplomatic corps, and it was also reported that 33 million euros that have been highlighted to be given to the Gambia and was frozen by the European Union was released. Has this been the case?
Well, it was the case. If I had to call up that meeting to assure the international community that the Gambia is back. This is a new Gambia, a Gambia that is prepared to do business with the international community, and it afforded us an opportunity, afforded me the opportunity to announce to the world that the Gambia was rescinding the decision of the former regime, withdrawing the Gambia from the International Criminal Court. And I also took the opportunity to announce to the international community, particularly members of the Commonwealth, that the Gambia would be applying to rejoin the Commonwealth of Nations. And I had small chats on the side with many of the diplomats, and I saw that there was a great deal of goodwill to help the Gambia, and we have in fact started. We have not only started, but we have implemented all those things that are announced. I had sent a letter to the Secretary General of the United Nations, intimating to him that the decision to withdraw from the ICC is now rescinded. And His Excellency the President also signed a letter to the Commonwealth Secretary General seeking for the admission. So we are on the right. We are on the right course, and can assure you that as part of informal chats I had with some of the ambassadors, we are gearing well towards the organization, the hosting of the OIC, the organization of the Islamic Conference, and Turkey is the chairperson. They are the chair. Turkey is the chair of that conference, and the ambassador of Turkey and I are really, discussing, and we are having fruitful conversations as to the way forward with respect to that conference.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the ICC, International Criminal Court, and the Commonwealth. Of course, Gambia withdrew from these organizations. Now, remind us, why do we need to go back to these organizations? What benefit do we have if Gambia is part of those organizations like the ICC and the Commonwealth?
So the ICC, in the first place, I have a very, as a Gambian, I have a personal reason why we should go back to the ICC. You see, the chief prosecutor of the ICC is a Gambian. Her candidature was championed by Gambia to be the prosecutor general, Fatou Bensouda, Mr. Fatou Bensouda. Her candidature was, in fact, sponsored by the Gambia government. We went around the world, presented her as a person of immense integrity, as a person who has immense ability, and one who can live up to the challenge. We had indicated to the whole world that we have absolute confidence in this institution, and we could not see any reason why the Gambia should really withdraw from that organization. In my view, the ICC will serve as a deterrent to any dictator, to any tyrant who thinks that he can treat his citizenry with impunity, believing that the domestic courts, cannot really exercise jurisdiction over him because you have immunities embedded in the constitutions. But then if you can escape your domestic court, the criminal court, you cannot escape if your actions, your deeds, qualify you to be a candidate for prosecution before the International Criminal Court. For me, it serves as a deterrent. And any government, any leader, any president who is really committed to true principles of democracy, you do not want to shy away from membership of that organization, because by being there, you are really attesting to the whole world that you want to really abide by the rule of law. Okay. And as for the Commonwealth, since 1965, we have been a member of the Commonwealth and have derived immense benefit from our membership. We're proud of having Commonwealth judges in the Gambia. I myself am a beneficiary of Gambia's membership of the Commonwealth because I enjoyed Commonwealth fellowship. Did my postgraduate in Canada as a Commonwealth student, law student, and we have had enormous assistance from CFTC. And in various other areas, in the shaping of our public service, all these things. So why should we get out of the Commonwealth? The only reason why Gambia had gone out of the Commonwealth is that because the British government and others were not insisting, but we are reminding us of the need to establish Human Rights Commission. And Jammeh found that, look, with all these commissions on human rights, I mean, these people just want to ensure that, I am out of office, because when people have rights and they know of their rights and they can exercise them without any deterrence, they can exercise them without any impediment, then that is a recipe for his disaster. So he really walked out of the Commonwealth, and for no just cause. That is one of the most ill-considered and irrational foreign policy decisions that this government has ever made. And he went further to say that he would go out of any sub-regional grouping which he considers as neo-colonialist. But all this, of course, we are rhetorics about neo-colonialism. We are all rhetorics to justify his own desire for self-perpetuation. So I think, we coming back into the Commonwealth is a good, will really be for the benefit of the Gambia. On this trip, I have had at least an hour, or more than an hour's meeting with the Commonwealth Secretary General and her deputy, and the reception was quite encouraging.
Okay. Yeah. That's good to hear. Now, on the 18th of February this year, when President Barrow was sworn in as president, and also at the independence celebration, he singled out the diasporan community as one of the people who have actually made it possible for the Gambia to get rid of a dictator. Now, you've had meetings with diasporan communities in France and as well as in the United Kingdom here. What has been their concern during those meetings, and what is the Foreign Affairs Ministry going to do to ensure that the diasporan communities are also looked into and see how you can tap into their resources and make Gambia a better place?
Well, the contribution of the diasporan community in the liberation of the Gambia cannot be overemphasized. They have been an absolute and indispensable partners to the forces back home by their ideas, their financial contributions. They contributed immensely in bringing about the downfall of the Jammeh regime. And therefore, it was no surprise that the foreign ministry has a component, and that is for Gambians in diaspora. We had meetings with them in Banjul, a group that went for the independence celebrations, and basically the things they're concerned about really is the right to vote. Okay. We addressed the issue, and the same issue was raised in France, in London, and the law is there. It's in there's provision in our laws in the Elections Act, and I personally believe that that provision should be elevated to a constitutional provision, that it is just not a mere act or a mere provision in an ordinary act of parliament, so that it would be given the respect that constitutional provisions are given. But beyond that, I have asked, and I think the Gambians in diaspora also have the same objective, that we should really harness our resources, open up opportunities for Gambians in the diaspora to invest in their country. After all, they are contributing immensely to the economy of the country, but we would want them to come home, invest in various areas, in the tourism industry, in real estate, in other ventures. And they could, I believe, form companies, those who really think alike and have the same, business interests. I think they can really incorporate and float companies and get involved in the mainstream economic activities of the country.
Is there any sort of investment incentive, if you want to call it that way, that would be given to investors from the diaspora? Is the government of the Gambia putting in those caveats for them to come to Gambia and invest? Say, if you come as an investor from the diaspora, the government of Gambia will support you in such and so on things.
Well, it depends on your area of investment. For instance, if you are interested in investing in areas that would need acquisition of land, of course, government of the Gambia will look favorably towards that, to make sure that you get land that is suitable for the type of venture in which you want to invest, and of course you would have also, depending on the type of investment that you want to engage in, you may have tax holidays, which is of course open to every investor. But we really want to encourage to invest in the productive areas of the economy. We don't want to encourage to come in and import onions and tomato and
something that can create jobs.
Something that can create jobs. We really would want investment in those areas.
Okay.
And of course we in my ministry, we're not going to have a directorate for diasporas, and we'll also ensure that you have citizenship services in all our embassies across the country, so that Gambian citizens who find themselves in situations where they need urgent governmental assistance, they can go to the citizen service and be properly attended to. Then, of course, I know that the arrangements now look a little bit incoherent, very ad hoc. So we do not want that to continue. We really want to ensure that
I was going to ask that a lot of Gambian communities in the diaspora feel quite disengaged by or from the foreign affairs embassies. For instance, in London here, there has been a great disconnect between the community and the embassy, and something that they decry most of the time, to say that they feel they're not represented by the embassies.
Well, we hope that will not be the case under the current dispensation, and hope that what is introduced and established under the current dispensation will continue with subsequent administrations, and in fact continue with better facility, with improvements, so that the services that our embassies give to Gambian citizens will be high quality services. And we hope that there will be no longer any disconnect between Gambians and their embassies, because after all, the embassies are the representatives of the government of the Gambia. They are the replica of the government of the Gambia in the countries to which they are accredited. So they should really be attending to the Gambians in the way that the government attends to Gambians back home.
Right, Honorable Minister, I would love us to continue chatting, because there are a lot of areas that I would love to chat with you. For instance, your relations with Senegal, Gambia and Senegal, like they say in Wolof, meaning the same people. Nobody can bring division between these two countries. Now, Gambia's government has requested that Senegal send in extra troops of about 1,000 soldiers to come to the Gambia to help shape up security in the Gambia. Is the government realizing at the moment that there are still some remnants of Jammeh regime who are in the system who might destabilize the country?
That is what makes it absolutely necessary for the Gambia to make such a request to the Senegalese government. And of course, those troops that will come will not only be troops that will just be carrying guns, but also, who would be intelligence operatives, so that whatever is going on between and amongst the Jammeh remnants can be easily discovered. And we need to reform the army, and we need to really cleanse it. And when I say cleanse it, I mean cleanse it of the bad element, those who are loyal not to the state but to Jammeh, and all those who are loyal to the Constitution and to the Republic of the Gambia must be retained and should be retained. And we will ask at some point express to the Senegalese our satisfaction with the state of the security forces, and by then they would leave, and they would have done a good service to their sister country. And as you say, of course, Gambia and Senegal, we are one. I mean, just by accident, of history brought about by the colonialists. We are now two separate countries. But then, apart from the good diplomatic relations, the good intergovernmental relationship between the thing is that the person-to-person relationship between Gambians and Senegal is doing a great deal in our drive towards, clearing all doubts and all suspicion between the two governments. After all, we all believe or we all had to the same religious houses. Now, the number of Gambians that went to Tuawan in the last few days to sympathize and commiserate with the Tijaniya fraternity on the death of the Khalifa in Tambedou attests to the fact that Gambia and Senegal were the same. You go to Touba, how many Muris do you have in the Gambia? How many Jassan? How many of them do you have in the Gambia? Kaulak, how many Nyasan do you have in the Gambia? So that person-to-person relationship, interaction, is doing a great deal to promote diplomacy between the two countries, and it's really helping in a great way, and we want to encourage that very much between our people.
My last question is relating to issue of justice, issue of reconciliation. The Gambia government has requested for the United States to provide some intelligence service to, for instance, investigate the killing of journalist Jaiteh Haidara. How close are we to knowing the truth from those investigations? I know your youth leader, the former youth leader of the United Democratic Party, who was killed under police custody, Solo Sandeng. His case is in court at the moment. Is there going to be an urgent sort of investigation into other victims who have been allegedly terrorized by Jammeh's regime, so that they can also have speedy justice?
Well, I tell you that all the cases are urgent, starting from the killing of the murder of Jaiteh Haidara to the disappearance of Chief Ibrahim Amane, Haruna Jammeh, Sajasa Jiba, and a host of others. Their cases are very urgent, but we will just not rush things and end up destroying the evidence. We'll make sure that we do the investigation in a very orderly and systematic manner, so that when the evidence is presented, there will be no objection. The quality will not be diminished by rushing anything. This we want to make sure, and we also want to assure Gambians that we are just pursuing, the attainment of justice. We are not out to revenge. What we are pursuing is justice without revenge. This is what is the cornerstone of our policy, and I hope that the victims and their relatives, will one day find satisfaction that justice has been done. A few years ago, I did say on a campaign trail that those mothers whose children and sons were gunned down in April 2000. They were crying, but their cries will certainly be silenced by justice, and they'll be satisfied. And we are on the same path. Okay. We have started and will continue.
Okay. How far with the establishment of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission?
Well, this is a matter that the Attorney General is really looking to, and it's one of the institutions that we are going to set up in order to deal with the Jammeh, the evils of the Jammeh administration, and we hope that those who perpetrated the crimes, those who did the wrong things, will be brave enough to come forward and confess to their wrongdoing. After all, I cannot ask you to reconcile with me if you have not accepted your wrongs and apologize for it. And then it will be left to me, my magnanimity or lack of magnanimity, as to whether or not I will pursue you. I have stated for my own case personally that I forgive Jammeh. And I mean it.
Okay.
Personally, I forgave him. But those other people whom he has wronged, Solo Sanders, anytime Solo Sanders' name is mentioned, it upsets me. It makes my day, the rest of the day, but very sad for me. That one, no one can leave that, I wouldn't say unpunished, but no one can leave it unattended, because that would be encouraging impunity. That would be accepting the fact that government does not only have an authority to arrest a person suspected of crime, but it also has authority to kill such a person. And that notion we don't completely reject.
Okay. Now, to wrap up, finally, Mr. Honorable Minister, on a personal note for you, how are you? I mean, you've been in prison, and just a few days after the election was won, you become Minister of Foreign Affairs, and that's a really hard job to do, going up and down, trying to push Gambia forward. That must have a toll on you as a person, and of course, are you, in good spirit and in good health?
I'm enjoying my job. I'm enjoying it very, very well. In fact, my appointment as Minister of Foreign Affairs is a fulfillment of the prophecy I made at the prison. There was a day, in fact, 22nd July, when my particulars were being taken, and a certain prison officer came, misbehaved, and I told them, look, I'm just a political prisoner. I'm not a felon, and that they should know that I can walk out of that prison gate and go and be president or be a minister. And I've walked out the gates of that prison to become a minister.
Okay. Well, viewers, this is what we have time for. We wish we could continue with Honorable Minister Ousainou N.K Darboe to tell us more about his life story, as well as his time in Gambia prison, and of course his political party's aspirations. But this is where we will end tonight's interview with Mr. Ousainou N.K Darboe, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of the Gambia. But we will make an appointment and come back on the studio at some point, or even meet him in Gambia and discuss some of the issues and things pertaining to his party, as well as his person, where he started from, and so on and so forth. But we will make an appointment, and surely, I'm sure you will wait for that time to come. But we say to you, Jerigen Jeff, thank you very much, Allah Baraka, Jara Mubui. We say thank you very much, Mr. Darboe. Despite your busy schedule, you've been able to come to our studio. This is InterFace Gambia. We say thank you so much, and good luck with Gambia's, being Gambia's foreign minister, and of course pushing Gambia forward to where it used to be.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much, and you are doing a lot of good work to promote the Gambia. And please help me. You are helping me in that. I thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll take our first break, and when we return, we shall highlight Honorable Minister Darboe's meeting with the Gambian community in London, where he spoke to a cross-section of the Gambian community. That will be after the break. Stay tuned.
There is a land not far away, where the sea meets the shore on a golden beach, where the river flows through the forest in 1,000 creeks, a place where people smile and say hello. Welcome to the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa. The Gambia is the destination for a fabulous holiday. A love of nature is in the soul of the country. The many forests and parks teem with wildlife. Up in the trees, red and green monkeys gather and sometimes come down to play. Other natives of this forest are perhaps shy. If you love birdwatching, this is one of the best places in the world to see them. Over 560 species live in and migrate to our land. Organised tours with expert guides make it easy to spot some of the many rare species which abound in the forests. If it is luxurious surroundings and a warm welcome you're looking for, this is the perfect place. On the golden sands by the mighty ocean, our fabulous hotels offer everything modern travellers would expect. High quality, attention to detail, personal service, and more. Imagine a private retreat buried deep in the forest. A special place to relax, recharge, and get in touch with our culture and nature. So go discover the smiling coast of Africa.
InterFace Gambia on GRTS, a weekly TV program featuring
ñun waa InterFace Gambia fii ci Angleterre li leen di woon àddina wërngal këpp wuré wa jëm na këng jaaji war na mbaam lu weddi gis bokk ca lii nag dañuy inter ba pare fees bu ngoon jotee ñu wane leen télé jërë ngeen jëf.
programme diine ji ak penc mi ci GRTS lépp luy diine fii ci bitim réew naka la ñoo dundee fii suñu diine ak borom xam-xam yi ay debate yu am solo ci wàllu diine.
Host of Youth Ablaze with InterFace Gambia. Make a date, don't miss it.
Batilinger Show with me, Lady J, here on InterFace Gambia in London on GRTS.
I'll be bringing you Profile Show on InterFace Gambia on GRTS, giving you programs and activities in the United Kingdom, in Birmingham, Manchester, and all other cities. We'll be profiling individuals, business people, and organizations that are doing extraordinarily well in our society in the United Kingdom.
Every Sunday, 10:30 p.m. Welcome back, and you're still reminded that this is InterFace Gambia show, and we broadcast our programs on Ben Television in the United Kingdom, on MAMOS online, and in Scandinavia, and on GRTS in the Gambia. Before the break, we were having a chat with the Foreign Minister of the Gambia, Mr. Ousainou N.K Darboe, who is on an official visit. He's been to France with the President of the Gambia and met President Francois Hollande as well as other French ministers. Mr. Darboe and some members of the Gambian delegation, including the Minister of Interior and Justice, also met members of the public here in London. The Gambian community came out in their large numbers and gave him a very big welcome at the community hall in London on a town hall style meeting in London.
Good evening. We're here at East London to witness a meeting of which 4 cabinet members of the newly elected government of Adama Barrow will be here to meet the Gambian people. The purpose of this meeting, in my view, is a fact-finding and a sort of a discussion with the Gambia people, and we're expecting to see Honorable Ousainou N.K Darboe, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Ahmad, the Minister for Financial Affairs, Honorable Abubakar Tambedou, Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Honorable Ahmad Gaiba, Minister for Tourism, and the Minister for Interior, Mai Fati. Any minute from now they should be here and they'll be welcome here, and we will start the business of talking to them. I believe this occasion is not a partisan event, it is a national event, and I hope we will address issues of national interest. We have to bear in mind that the political parties have signed a memorandum of understanding, and as we are in the campaign period, it will be unfair for us to use this forum to discuss anything in particular about how the elections are going on. We should focus our energies or our research or questions on national interests. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Today is a great day. It's a great for the Gambian community and great for the entire Gambian live in United Kingdom. Long live Gambia, one Gambia, one people, one nation. Sirif na uju billahi min sururi anfusina kontanta bake bi muluneti ka demokrasi sabatindi Gambia, ka tramfambulo sabatindi, ka badia sabatindi, Gambia be kontanta o kontano na lundambal membe ko Honorable His Excellency Lawyer Alhaji Ousainou Darboe, Foreign Minister, and Honorable Lawyer Mai Fati, Interior Minister, Honorable Ba MS Tambedou, Justice Minister, Her Excellency Madam Yaili Hadin, High Commissioner representing the Gambian community in UK here, including the entire Gambian community, association, many baby Gambia, Yesiri London Jang, Mbafolali ala Baraka, Albe Menjube kan wolemu, the welcoming ceremony of our Honorable Lawyer Ousainou Darboe and Honorable Mai Ahmed Fati. Gambian ko la lodla ñiñata holo fata mobe nata Mbafolali al bismillah al nimbara kila sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ako hubbul watan min al iman kela banko kanu akabe lafri liman yalema dega Gambia dingol lela banko kanu dega Gambia ko le lafte la banko la Gambia dingo don dika nyimma dum tawda ka pasilen bidadum na Gambia dingo niajo ala salary la definitely na tanga do ma ka tallulo ngande Gambia dingo le kelas rumo kono jandinga fota Gambia ay man sonolo. Definitely Gambia is one Gambia, one people, one nation. Mafoko Gambia musurwa bankuleti mafo mandinka bankulem mafoko jola bankulem mafo manoji bankulem mafo mandaki bankulem ni dunta jandro one Gambia, one people, one nation. Wole be tubabu du adu wole be Gambia. Political affiliation or mentally divide. Gambia mu Gambia kilineti ala baraka interface alla lodla ñiñata benna badi wolu kontonna bendi be koko His Excellency Suntu Touré Bamba Mas etc. Kanjura Kanyi politiko kekendolu Yankuba Dabo Siaka Jaiteh Barham Menni Bebe Loring Badibu Association Gambia United Newham Association Jahanka Association Combo Association Coalition 2016 Coalition Combo South UDP Coalition 2021.
So Gambians, this is your opportunity to meet the new face of Gambian authorities. The new Gambia. These are the new Gambia. This is the Gambia we are all looking forward to. Lamin sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك اللهم إني أسألك بأني أشهد بأنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد اللهم يا ربنا إنا نسألك إيمانا كاملا وعلما نافعا ويقينا صادقا ونسألك اللهم دوام النجاة من كل بلايا ونسألك اللهم دوام العافية ونسألك تمام العافية ونسألك الشكر على عافية ونسألك أن يا رب العالمين اللهم يا ربنا اجعل الأمن والاستقرار في بلادنا غامبيا يا رب العالمين اللهم يا ربنا من أراد بلاد غامبيا خير فزد خير يا الله ومن أراد بلاد غامبيا شر فرد إلى خير إلى نهر يا رب العالمين اللهم إنا نجعلك في نهور أعدائنا ونعوذ بك من سرورهم لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وصل اللهم على حبيبنا وشفيعنا وقائدنا وقدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Next on the agenda, we will call on Imam Jaiteh, the chief organizer for this program tonight. We want him to say a word of thanks for what has going on, what has transpired until we are here today. 5 minutes, Imam.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Yes. Can we call the Christian community, whoever is here, Joby's Gospel, for come and give the prayers, please?
No, you go on with your speech first. I speak to you in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dearly beloved God, as we are gathered here with our own people for the first time, we thank you for giving us the opportunity for coming here in good spirits, united in purpose, ready to serve our country. God, guide us through as we make sure that what we will be discussing here will be issues of interest which will take our country to a better state. God, we thank you for all the people that have come over here, that have left their own personal engagements just to witness this occasion. We pray that whatever we decide today will be fulfilled in your name. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for those wonderful prayers. Thank you very much.
Without wasting time, I will thank the entire community, the entire Gambian society. Me Gambian ko be kontonna mba folali be afo alhamdulillah rabbil alamin al be afo alhamdulillah rabbil alamin
alhamdulillah rabbil alamin
alhamdulillah rabbil alamin
alhamdulillah rabbil alamin
ala ko ala alquran kono la in sakartum la azidannakum ninga nemo di alla aliyanna nemo jayi mbaji dindilale woto New Gambia nga nemo le soto nde lallondo jang kabrin Gambia ya fan soto nere ma sifa soto. This is the very first time Gambian community and Gambia alpha si Kenya tilinyola Gambian ko la alpha me yalon ko ko wolle bartan telima kabrin dunda holo kono jang mafo mandinka mafo suruwa mafo fula mafo akku mafo manjaki mafo jola ko one Gambia, one people, one nation. Gambian kol Allah duwale jabita dunia kono anene man soto dulato sojaro mo wuli saye dunga banko kan hansi se manfa ala ke history kono akata Gambia dronne oto Gambia e duwa soto Gambian kol alhamdulillah rabbil alamin Gambian kol alinga Allah taala tentu ngaman so jayi ala e men kentel yasi danno ngireto Gambia to bota baake
bari Gambia mu bakilin fakilin neti simantara Gambia afonyante bota katon même bota koyna nalman dem bakilin fakilin na wotal fututa ñoy woton tel mukilin dron neti no one can divide us ada nete kenola abadan nde diamo jam fandila mbe Inter Gambian society kontonna mbe kontondiro folola na Her Excellency Madame Ya Elizabeth Harding atele be sirin tel kunna jam o tambirin kola mbe Gambia association o be konton na kilin be na tola ni wobata je political activist mbali be konton na mba folali al nimbara ni wobata je mbe konton dro silam famama mbari koto membo Alhaji Ousainou Darboe
Next on the agenda, walang tuko say lutang jati ma, lutang jati yung mimiti. Walang lutang jati yolo. Ya ini hadin. Lutang jati me mai ko dira te say lutana assistant info. Lutang wala na silo jang ben utina lutang fongbre na FMO. Ya ini Honorable ya ini Ambassador Gambian High Commissioner to United Kingdom. We wanted to say a few words.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, distinguished audience. I start with extending my warm compliments to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who is the leader of the delegation that arrived in London yesterday, and his entourage, Minister Honorable Ousainou Darboe. You are welcome in London, United Kingdom, where I have been serving as the Gambia envoy. Your entourage, your delegation, have the previous speaker has indicated that you are accompanied by Tambedou, who is the Minister of Justice, the Attorney General, and also Honorable Maifati, who is the Minister of the Interior. We have also amongst our midst the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Jaiteh. And this is a historic visit in the sense that since the new political dispensation has been in place, it has just taken a few weeks for the government of the United Kingdom, who has been supporting the efforts of the Gambia to enjoy a new phase in the world by giving us the support and the assurance the Gambia can achieve its democratic principles in this global scene. What we have witnessed over the few months is assurance that the Gambia is a great nation, because between December to January, the Gambia was at the brink of an upheaval, and all eyes were on the Gambia for the wrong reasons. First and foremost, on the 1st of December, when it was clearly announced that the coalition government won the elections, all and sundry were in jubilant mood. The former president, for that matter, made a pronouncement which really touched the heart of all people around the globe. People like us, we serving as envoys of the Gambia, we are commended for that historic move. And our pride was short-lived in the sense that there was a U-turn by the president at that point in time. that in itself was something that we couldn't really comprehend, because we thought that having made such a sincere announcement that the Gambia is a sample, is a champion in the sense that when in this electoral process, the type of voting system that we have is foolproof. That gave the Gambia a very covetous place in the world, because nowhere in the Gambia is talk news for election for the electoral process. But this was something that was clear, and the pronouncement was made by the former government, by the former president. We enjoyed that pride until he made the pronouncement that really he was not going to accept. When he did, of course, we, being guided by our own principles, decided that we have to take a stand to make it to the whole world to know that actually Gambia, we though small, we are courageous enough to call this a spade a spade. For some of our colleagues, most of our colleagues in the diplomatic field, we decided to communicate amongst ourselves to ensure that really we have to take a stance to ensure that the Gambia was not, would not face any turmoil, because we have seen many nations, great nations for that matter, who really have been plunged into war, chaos. Why? Because of dictatorship, because of people who are self-centered.
All right, thank you very much, Your Excellency, Honorable Eli Khalid. So we begin with Ustaz Taib Cha. He has been in this country for quite a while. He knows the in and out of this country. Everybody here who is associated with anything knows who Imam Taib, Ustaz Taib is. He's a worthwhile citizen. He's a very hard-working person. He goes in and out to every occasion that Gambians organize. So without, we will just give him the mic now for him to deliberate on certain issues that are affecting Gambians here. Imam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wa kafa. والصلاة والسلام على نبيه المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وآل بيته الكرام ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Honorable Minister, Mr. Darboe, the head of the delegation, Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Corporations, and Gambians in diaspora. Honorable Tambedou, Tambedou, Minister of Justice, Honorable Minister Ahmad Fati, my Goro, and the brother, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Her Excellency, our sister, Jaiteh, our brothers and sisters, once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Just a couple of minutes before you arrived, I've been told I should participate to say a few words in Wolof. However, suma kàddu du fi gudd sëriñ bi Mr. Jaiteh, you honored me for this occasion. I'd like to thank you all who invited me in this unique and special occasion. Li tax ma ne suma kàddu du gudd, first of all mooy suñu délégation la xam naa ne am nañ long day, ñu ngi tired te xam naa ne pour jox leen li ngeen eyoo comme Gambian citizen ngeen bugg a meet ak ñoom moo tax ñoom ñu try pour squeeze seen time table pour mun leen a fit pour bis meeting bi mu nekk starting bu am yaakaar. lii gëj na fee am lool moo tax ma ne starting bu am yaakaar la. ñu ngi leen di gërëm ak di seen schedule yu tight yépp xam ngeen ne fi ngeen toog Gambie ñoo leen fi teg te loolu laa leen naa dénk ngir leader waroo koy jay waaye da nga ko wax li nga xam ne moo ko war a dimbale. Omar ibn Khattab radiyallahu taala anhu bés bi ñu ko tànnee mu nekk third xalifa dafa ekkati soom muy jaasim ne yéen mbooloo mi nga xam ne yéen a ma tànn maa ngi nii ci seen kanam waaye loolu miinut ne maa leen gën heure bu ngeen gisee na wàcc naa di right track bi nga xam ne moo tax ngeen select ma na ngeen ma jubbanti ak jaasi ji